Soma from It Starts With the Dream. Today I wanted to share with you about a course called Passive Income Planner Girl. It's a course that I took a few years back, and I would say hands down it has been the best investment I've ever made in my business. And also it's actually affected my life as well. So it's not just affected my business and changed how I do things or how I think, it's also affected my mindset in life, which has impacted other areas. So I just wanted to show you behind the scenes. So it's Passive Income Planner Girl is the name of the course, and it's run by Aimee and Michelle. They Michelle made the course, and she basically was working on changing her life and taking 100% responsibility for it after realizing she'd lived the same year twice. She created herself some printables, some sort of worksheets, planner sheets to check in and to like get really clear on what she wants to do with her life, and then actually following through with planning that. She then put that printable up for sale on Etsy, and I think it went on to make her, I don't know, I think it's something like $10,000 or something. It went on to make a lot of sales, and she had one main planner at that point, and she would do an update each year, and if you bought it once, you'd get the update every year. And then she developed it, and she did some different versions and things like that, and then people would be asking her sort of like, how are you doing it, how are you selling things, how do you do this? So she made a course. And then I think about 18 months ago, or sort of 2 years ago, Aimmee, who was actually one of her students, came on board and helped her with it. So what I like is you get the two different perspectives. You get Aimmee, who's sort of more like she was more like a newbie. She was sort of at her sort of first steps of like, she's made her planners, she's selling planners on Etsy, and then what comes next, maybe creating some sort of hubs or sharing content and things like that, while Michelle's further ahead. So I like that you've got the contrast of someone who's much further ahead and someone who's a bit newer, a bit more like perhaps you or perhaps me. Okay, so this course is held on a platform called Teachery by Jason and Caroline Zook, and I like that it can be customized and looks quite creative. So when you log in, this is what the dashboard looks like, and then you can just see the different modules that you got, all the different milestones. So they're on an sale at the moment, but an introduction, and then I like this thing. They've got these, what they call these planner girls, and they're sort of like made these sort of, I think it's 4 or 5 made up characters, but they represent real life women. There's like the photographer, the artisan, and it's about exploring the things that you enjoy and the things that light you up, and sharing that through the platform or through the medium of a planner. And then you've got catching the vision, tapping into your zone of genius, creating your zone of genius planner, launching your shop on Etsy, marketing on Pinterest, open the door to more money with your customer hub, create a quick and dirty mini course, stepping into abundance with your affiliates, and then holding space for your super fans. Also, what I also really like is you've got, if I go into designing your planner, so if you click more, it just shows you the sub lessons. So you can just see the sub lessons. So if you're like, oh, I want to go straight to affinity tutorials, or I think that's the one that's got loads and loads of lessons. This one, making a mock-up for your customer hub. So basically you can make a hub that looks something like this for your customers, where they can buy their planner and they can go in, and you might have like different videos and different tools, resources for them to help them get more out of their planner. So I'll just go into creating the Zone of Genius planner, and it's based on creating digital planners now. because they have become both really passionate about it. They use and love using digital planners. It's a PDF that has hyperlinks that you can use on something like an iPad, in an app like GoodNotes or Note Shelf, and you it looks like a planner, and when you press the tabs, it'll take you to the different sections. So they've both gotten really on board with digital planners, and so that's what they're teaching you. A lot of people are wanting to go like paper free. A lot of people want to have access to tools that they can take everywhere with them. So if they're traveling, you might just want to take an iPad, you might not want to take a big chunky planner with you. So that is the beauty of digital planners. So you've got all the tutorials about how to do that down here. So their main pivot, because when this course came out, it was about making printables. When I bought it, and I was making printables, and it was very much a how-to course where it was the focus was on making how to make these things. But what they realized is that a lot of times what's getting people stuck is not necessarily how to make something. It's actually the mindset and the way we think. There's so many times people might make their first printable and then they're too scared to put it up for sale. They feel really worried that people are going to laugh at it. What will their friends think? Nobody will buy it. It's terrible. And there's a lot of mindset stuff that comes up when it does come to creating products and sharing those products out there in the world. So I totally get that. I remember, creating things and then really just being quite scared to put them out there and wondering what people would think. What if people don't want to buy it? What do I do? And what I loved about their pivot is they actually really went on to just deep dive into mindset and this idea of creating your zone of genius planner, and really thinking about what you have to offer, because we all have so much to offer, and thinking, what is our zone of genius? What is it that's so easy for us to do? We love to do it. People, comment, people are like, oh, can you help me with this? And we just think it's like, oh, it's so easy, like anyone could do it. We don't even value what we have. And that is how so this is taking that on forward. So our zone of genius, and turning it into a planner that can share our message and help other people. And further on later on, you might want to turn it into a course, which they have there. You might want to grow it into something like a membership, and it can all start from just a printable or a digital planner. When they're showing the I'll go to creating the planners, but when they're showing how to create the planners, they've got it for different software. So they've got it for if you're a Mac, if you're a PC user, and the Affinity Designer, creating it in Keynote. So there's different apps that you can use. So if you've got a PC or Mac, you just choose here which one you have, and then you'll be able to get the right tutorial. So I'm just going to click Keynotes, and then you have the videos for Keynotes, and you get to share all these things like choosing fonts, clip arts, textures, compressing your your JPEGs, so when you upload them into your digital planner, they don't get too big and your file isn't super huge. Textures, setting up Apple Keynote, using master slides. So it means that you have a slide where you can change things on that master slide, and it changes all the linked things throughout the whole file. Like if you change the fonts on the master slide, then it changes on all the other pages, which saves a lot of time. Backgrounds, layered effects, adding tabs, colors, like lots of different things. So you can see, the cover, front cover, back cover, they go into all the details of that. So this part is really the how-to part. And as I was saying, that bit, it marries like the how-to, the practical skills of actually creating the digital planner, and then it goes into this idea of like catching the vision and just seeing what could be and how things could just start from a planner and then just really grow. So that is my journey. I started making planners, printables, and it was a way for me to share what helped me as a mum coming through postnatal depression and realizing that CBT therapy was great for help me cope in the moment, but I didn't want to just cope. I wanted to actually create my life, and basically I had to change the things that I did that were making me unhappy. And I didn't have the confidence to, like, make courses or do coaching or anything like that, but I still wanted to share that, so I just started sharing it through the medium of printables, and then it grew and it built. Then I did create a little mini course that went with for my students, and then I have gone on to create another course. I've gone on to create a membership as well. So it all just started with a printable. And if you'd told me back then, like, oh, you're making a printable now, but this is where it's gonna take you in about 4 years time, I probably wouldn't. I don't know if I would have started. I've probably been too scared to start. So they also have the how-tos of things like marketing on Pinterest, which is where Michelle gets most of her traffic from, and for free. And then afterwards, your customer journey, like if they bought a planner on Etsy, it's Etsy's customer, not yours. So how can you help develop that relationship with them? How can you offer like more value after the sale? And that's where creating a hub that could look something like this, where they can then sign up for it. Maybe there's some other bonuses in there. Maybe you've got another version of the planner that they've just bought. Maybe you've got tutorial videos on how to use your planner. Maybe you're sharing your story, other resources. So you're like really building that relationship with the customer and taking them on a journey. So this one about creating a course, so it's like sort of like the next step after you've made a planner. You might want to make a course on the same subject, and then once you've got things going, you might want to get some affiliates who then basically sell your products for you as well, and you'd give them a commission. And then holding space for super fans, and that talks about maybe that's sort of like in the form of a membership, or a space where you do some sort of live calls or videos to I'll just go into it. But yeah, creating a place where you can really nurture the relationship with your super fans, and being yourself and really just showing up as you. And then the people who identify, they resonate with that, those become your super fans, if you want to call that. There's a book called 1,000 True Fans, and that talks about that you only really need 1,000 true fans to create a very successful business. Like, if you had 1,000 true fans, and over the course of a customer journey, like how much if they all spent, I think I'm not great with doing the maths on the spot, but if 1,000 true fans spent even $100 with you each year, then that's I want to say $100,000 business. That is how bad I am with on the spot maths. But you get the point. So yeah. And how do you create true fans or super fans? Is really about being your authentic self, so they can really see who you are. And if they connect and resonate with that, maybe your journey, maybe your culture, maybe for instance, Michelle's got natural hair and I've got natural hair. So when I don't know if she started transitioning at some point, but I saw her with natural hair and I was like, I love it. That's something that would draw me in. Or if you Aimee's from the same town, grew up in the same town that I grew up in. So that's like a thing I was like, oh wow, okay. So sharing, things about yourself and who you are, it does attract people, and they can resonate with certain things, they can identify with certain things. So that is a quick overview of Passive Income Planner Girl, and I am an affiliate for it. Like I said, I've taken the course. It was seriously, hands down, the best money I spent in my business, and it has positively affected my life. And just because my mindset has changed and my confidence in what I think is possible, this idea of catching a vision and then really taking things further than just a planner, that really has grown as I took the course and I started taking action. So if you want to see more about what I do, you can visit itstartswiththedream.com. So hope that helps. If that sounds like something you would love to do, something helpful, then just go to the link below in the comments, in the description.